that this death is a thing because I'm a Muslim. I believe strongly if I died here in the course of my views and the course of my position, at worst you are going to shoot me down and I get down, but then it's destiny that I must die someday. And they forget all that. Their fate is no longer there, most of them. So those of them who felt they are not ready to die because they acquire so much wealth, they are so skeptic. So in fact, their families are not even in the country. Most
when
of them.
You say the politicians or the political class have lost the political will, well, are you now saying that the elders have lost the will of the fathers to discipline, not discipline per se, to put their sons in check? Is there something?
I really don't want to generalize.
But is there something the elders in the north could have done differently?
They have made so many efforts. Like Shetima Mongunu had made a lot of effort in recent times. Most of them, like Yusuf Metamasule, has formed a lot of forum where they can sit down to look at the whole issue. But the fact of the matter, after you sit down in a conference, you sit down in the rooms, you sit down with elders and discuss. The people you're trying to communicate the message to, you only go on net, you speak with them. You don't get to see one of them to say, okay, I am part of.
Why?
Why then? That's to tell you that this whole issue, to me, it has gone beyond the issue of even the original body group we're talking about now. Yeah. Some people have capitalized on this whole action. The politicians on one hand have been, even within the government, some people felt strongly if you don't find Boko Haram any longer, the story is not there, then the end. The means of their living is no longer going to be there. I give you an example of a case of a governor in a state where there's this whole volatile. You voted over 500 million to him for security votes. And you think the governor will want this trouble to end? Every month you send 500 million for security vote, and you ask him to do it without accounting for it, and you think the problem will be over? Ordinarily, the governor would sit back on his own to put bomb anywhere and say the Boko Haram strike so that this business will continue.
So is this partly political, you think?
Very well political. It has nothing to do with religious coloration, this whole issue. Nowhere in the Islam where it is said that you take a life of an innocent somebody. It's not. They will go to church, they bomb the church, they come back, they bomb the mosques in order to cause certain misgivings between the two major religions in the country, because some people want to make a point to get what they want. And some people were so relaxed, talking from all sides of their mouth. Recently, somebody just sit down on the net, and I give you as a product of a struggle. There are more to some of this issue. Somebody will just sit down on net and begin to work on the psyche of people, believing that something exists when this thing does not really exist. So anything now, Amroba go to bank, he breaks bank and put bomb. He say Allahu Akbar, the next moment he say Boko Haram strike and they strike on the bank. How does that in any way come in to the issue of reality of struggle? I agitate. I'm a product of agitations. We have suffered a lot of setback in the course of what we believe since the tactics of military. So many detentions and so on and so forth. But it wasn't like this.
What about the citizenry? I mean, it's said that no crime is committed without somebody, a neighbor, a relative, knowing that this person has this tendencies. We heard about the case of the Abdul Muttalab, for instance. His father went ahead before the incident even took place to report to security agencies that this, my son, something is wrong. Is it not possible that somebody knows both the real Boko Haram and the fake Boko Haram and could
what the government would have done rather than becoming so putting itself into a corner of this?
I don't want us to still be looking at the government. I'm talking about the citizenry.
Whatever the citizens do, no matter how the citizens make effort to arrest the situation, the government has more role to play. That you come out to point somebody and you are not sure of your protection is a problem. That you come out to pass an information to the government and at the end of the day, you cannot be guaranteed of your security and your family, then there's a problem. The government must make sure they give their protections to those who come forward and at the same time give enough security in those places. If you are not guaranteed of your safety, then of course you can't just come out and begin to do what you are doing.
But do you think that there are people who are willing to come forward right now?
I wouldn't know that more. But I'm sure if the government do better, the people will definitely cooperate with the government and do it well. But then the government must do what is right. The right thing to do is, why is this governor not arrested to date? Why is the government giving this governor?
So you believe very strongly that he
I believe strongly because he started this whole thing. Confessional statements have been made variously. In fact, part of the condition they even said for this same dialogue, they said, look, that man must be arrested.
But considering what the senator said, I mean, the senator who spoke on the floor of the chamber said that the Boko Haram sect has always existed, and it's only very recently that they got violent because their leader was killed and they were pushed to the wall, and it was the attitude of security agencies.
I really don't want to talk much about that senator, but I don't think he's right, his views, whatever. But however, I know in the course of chasing the Boko Harams or something, there are a lot of mistakes that had happened, really, and a lot of innocent people were caught up in the crossfires and so on and so forth. Of course, those things are natural things. But to come out and say, this group have been existing. Yes, they've been existing. But then that killing, like he was saying, that was the cause of the actions. Why don't we go back to the drawing board and bring back this man who ordered the killing of this Yusuf Mohammed? Because if Yusuf Mohammed was to be alive today, perhaps we would have had more confessional statements. We would have now get to know the route, how far their connections are, who are involved. Why rushing killing the young man after handing him over to the police by the military men then? So there are more to it. Bring in the commissioner of police then, who instructed the killing, the team of police, bring the governor as a prime suspect, put them on trial and see if we will not find more results to what we needed.
Here you are speaking about this matter, speaking your mind. You want a solution to this problem.
Yes,
do you
I do.
think the governor should also join in this and say, listen, we don't like what is going on here? This group.
The northern governors?
Yes.
Of course they did that at the level of Northern Governors Forum, under the leadership of Aliyu. In fact, Aliyu has become one of the dogged fighter against even this issue of Boko Haram. In fact, in Dar es Salaam, I understand it was even during his government a few years ago.
Of course, I know I've heard the governor of the...
He did.
He
Most of them
said
did.
that he believes that this is a ploy to cripple the economy of the North. Is this strictly an economic issue
Well,
as
I don't know who is working on the... who is working against the economic of northern part of the country. I don't know if that's his own personal view, but to me, I see it as more of negligence on northern part of the country. It is easy for people to be recruited into those kind of groups because the poverty in northern part of the country is so high. People don't even have an idea of what they are fighting for. The groups they get into, they just believe that whatever they are doing is more of a jihad, and they believe strongly because of their ignorance. Most of them believe that whatever they are doing is as a result of fighting in favor of Islamic. But to some of us who are more vast to the realities of things, know that it's not true. So we are doing our effort as a youth leader. I go around, I also try as much as I can to educate and conscientize the public at that level to make sure that at least we're able to pull some of them out of this.
I want to thank you very much indeed for coming out this morning. Yorima Shettima is the National President, Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, today on Sunrise Daily.